Alright, now I apologize for the noise. This part of the trail actually runs through, or runs under an interstate. But I wanted to point this out. This is a lonely little plant here. There are others around. I just have to look them, search them out, but they're here. This is lamb's quarters. A lot of telltales on this one. It's got a very distinct shape. Some people call it goose foot because if you look at it, if my thumb is the bottom of the goose's leg, then this is the shape of a goose's foot. Alright, so that's one way. I think it's just got a very distinct leaf shape anyway. I don't really need to remember it that way. Other thing you can look at, we got some muddy water here. Let me drip some on here. Now, let me see. Now, you can kind of see that muddy ball right there. These things are pretty much waterproof. All right, the water just balls right up on them and knocks right off. All right, and then this white powder in the center is kind of a giveaway too. Or white powdery looking stuff is a giveaway. It's also got a white powdery on the back. So lamb's quarters can be eaten raw as a salad, can also be cooked. I happen to love this plant. It tastes a lot better than spinach to me, and I like spinach on everything instead of lettuce. So this is a wonderful plant to get to know, and it grows pretty much anywhere. I mean, any kind of disturbed soil, which is what we're looking at here, you're going to find lamb's quarters pop up more than likely. Now here's another one you probably have growing in your yard. All right, it happens to be very tasty. I don't know why we spend so much money trying to eradicate these things, but this one's actually pretty tasty. This is purslane. All right, you kind of a lot of specimens will have a reddish stem, and then you see the leaves. Leaves are kind of thick. I think Green Dean describes them as succulent. I think I would have to agree, and it's talking about the texture, not the flavor. The flavor is very mild. They really don't have too drastic of a flavor. Pretty tasty. I've heard that you can pickle these things. I generally just eat them raw, but there you go. It's purslane. Okay, here we have mullein. All right, and I believe this is second-year mullein. The first-year mullein kind of makes a rosette of leaves at the bottom, but doesn't grow this big long stalk. There is an edible part to this plant. I don't know what it is. I don't remember right offhand, but I will add it as a caption to the video. And I know the stalk, when it's dried, can be used as a spindle in a bow drill fire set. So that's another useful plant to know. Okay, this beautiful little flower is indicative of the spiderwort plant. All right, and one thing that really gives it away for me is if you look under the flower, there's a whole bunch of other flowers ready to open up. It opens up one a day, and then they die out or they close back up, and another one opens up. So it'll be in bloom every day, but it'll be a different flower. Now you can eat the flowers. Some people will candy them. You can eat them raw. And the shoots themselves cook a lot like asparagus, and they're very tender, but you want to get them when they're young. They're still tasty when they're older, but the outer skin basically becomes difficult to swallow. It's hard to describe. It doesn't taste bad or anything. It just doesn't chew up very well. It doesn't seem to macerate to the point where most people are comfortable swallowing it. So that's my experience, at least. That's spiderwort. All right, so that's part 1 and 2 of the wild edibles near me. Now, just to answer some comments I'm sure I'm going to get, assuming anyone actually watches this video, I realize that what I just did and what Les Stroud is talking in his book are very different things. He's talking about being in the middle of the woods and trying to find your way out and come across wild edibles on the trail, or even if you don't have a trail, and trying to survive on that. I realize that what I just did is different than that. I understand that. What I did was walk a fairly well-established trail for about 1.5 miles. I found 15 wild edibles that I was willing to document and several others that I wasn't. I'll mention them, but I'm not going to document them. I found daylilies, but I believe they are a cultivar, and so I'm not sure of their edibility. I know daylilies that are wild are edible, but I'm not so sure about store-bought. I also found pokeweed, which is a delicious wild edible that I happen to enjoy quite a bit, but I'm not comfortable with my skill level, comfortable enough with my skill level to feel like I want to be even remotely responsible for somebody trying pokeweed, preparing it incorrectly, and winding up very sick. So I didn't mention that one. I came across Queen Anne's lace as well. Same kind of thing there. Queen Anne's lace, also known as wild carrot, but can be easily confused with poison hemlock, so that's a real problem. I came across some bamboo shoots, but again, I'm not sure 100% sure of the edibility of all species of bamboo, and I don't know enough about it to really figure out if that one was an edible bamboo or not. And there were a few others. I came across a mulberry tree that I would have been happy to document because it's really easy to figure out what a mulberry tree is, but number one, it had no berries on it anymore. They'd all been raided in the last couple of days. And two, I couldn't get the camera to focus on the leaves well enough, and they were too high up for me to go get, and it was raining pretty hard, so I didn't really feel like climbing the tree. So that's what I did here. These are my 2 videos. I hope you found this somewhat helpful. Again, initially I was going to start out and try and really identify these plants and give you some characteristics to go by. I'm just not comfortable enough with my skill level to do that, and I apologize for that. I hope no one is upset about that, because I know a few people that read my blog were looking forward to this post. So I am sorry. I would recommend you to check out eattheweeds.com. It's Green Dean's website. That's a great resource for information about wild edibles. And when you get done with that and you want to learn something about bushcraft, survival, gear reviews, I've got a blog as well, and I've got a couple of links on that blog that are also helpful. My blog is rangersquirrel, all one word, .wordpress.com, and you're welcome to come by there and then check out my blog roll. There's a lot of good links from there too. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment, and hopefully I'll keep making videos.